Okay, this is a 2010 Honda Civic EX. You see that check engine light right there? Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to turn that check engine light off if you have one or both of these cold, okay? First one is P0128. It's coolant thermostat temperature below thermostat regulating temperature. The second one is P0118. Engine coolant temperature sensor 1 circuit high input, okay? So what happened is I was on the highway when that engine check light came on, and I noticed that my car still run okay, it drive normally. Anyway, I drove 16 miles. I got home, ran inside the house, grabbed the scanner, hook it up, and the first call I got was P0128. Okay, so right away that tells you something about the thermostat, right? So what I did is I opened the hood, checked the expansion tank, the coolant recovery tank, to make sure that it have enough coolant in there. So everything checked out good. So I hop back in the car, drive about 30 miles to my appointment. When I get there, the car was parked out for about 2.5 hours. I done my appointment, hop back in, start the engine, drive back, and when I hit the highway, the check engine light came back on. Okay, so right away I thought it's the same code. By the time I get home, I say, well, it's too late. I'm going to check it out in the morning. So the car sit in my driveway overnight. The following morning, I took the scanner out, the same scanner, hook it up, and I got this code P0118, which is engine coolant temperature sensor 1, circuit high input. Okay, so right there by the word of it, one of them point to the thermostat, the other one point to the engine coolant temperature sensor. Okay, so what I did is, the car is like over 100,000 miles, right? So I say, well, in my mind, I say, yeah, thermostat and coolant temperature sensor need to be replaced. But I tried something else, it's been working really good. I've been driving around for 3-4 days now, over 300 miles, and the engine light is off. Okay, so as you can see, when I start up the car, there's no check engine light. Okay, so this technique do work. Now, if make sure you try these two techniques first before you replace the thermostat or the coolant temperature sensor. Okay, and let's get under the hood so I show you exactly what I did. Okay, so now we under the hood. Okay, so what the first thing I did was there's a sensor right there. It's located right by the air box. If you run your finger to the upper radiator hose, okay, you got the housing right there and the sensors right there. It looks like very easy to get to if you need to replace it. Okay, I don't know if it shows clearly on the camera. I'm gonna block the sun now. Hopefully the camera show the sensor. Alright, it's a blue connector right there where my finger at. Alright, I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean the sensor out. Okay, so basically with your put your thumb right there, push in that clip and pull it straight out. Alright, like so, really easy. Alright, so there is the connector, and let me show you the sensors right there. Okay, so I'm using that can right there that I bought from AutoZone. You guys see me using this to clean the seat belt, right? It's one of the check engine light came on my Odyssey. Okay, it's the same thing, same bottle. I bought, I think, about $10 for that at AutoZone. And anyway, I spray it into that sensor and the connector out here. Okay, and I leave it to dry. But you know how you spray it on there, and these things supposed to evaporate, but it didn't. So I left it there for about 15 minutes. Then I take cotton swab and I clean the inside of it, right? I rubbed that 2 terminal and it's very dirty. Okay, so after I clean it up with the cotton swab, and then make sure these things are clean. I just put the connector back on, just like that. All right, just like that. Make sure it snap in. Okay, and then the other thing I did was checking the radiator for leaks. Okay, so I opened the radiator cap out like so. Okay, I'm gonna leave it right there. Okay, so about a few days ago, I checked the coolant level. I opened the radiator cap out, and it looked like it's very low. And I enough air, like about a quart of antifreeze in here. Okay, so I added a quart antifreeze, and I just put the cap back on, and mind my own business, right? Make sure the recovery tank is at the level. Mind my own business, and a few days later, the check engine light came on. Okay, so what I did is I say, oh, maybe I have a leak in the system, or that's my main concern. Check to see if there are any leaks in the system. That's caused the coolant level to be low. All right, so what I did is I using this kit that I bought from eBay about 2 years ago. I paid about $60 for it, right? It comes with a pressure pump. If you use air pressure, you can use that. All kind of adapter. Okay, so adapter I be using is this one right here. This one here, you know, these are adapter. You can test a cap with it too. Okay, so everything check out good, right? But for this one here, you just find the right size. Okay, which is this one right here. All right, that one right there. Okay, so you have to be careful, because on Honda, on both Odyssey and the Civic, okay, these radiator neck, they made out of these, hard plastic type. There's a technical name for it, but it basically it's not aluminum or copper or metal. Okay, so you have to be careful when you put this on, because if you happen to break this, you look real closely, you can replace this neck. Okay, right here, and then it's got a hose right here. Okay, so just because you let's say whatever reason this thing snap off, you don't replace the whole radiator. Okay, just open this out, and there's 2 bolts underneath here. Take it out and you just replace this neck. Okay, but this neck made out of some type of plastic, so be careful. So this is what you do. You take this and you put it on like so, and you press it down, and then you turn it to lock it. Okay, just like your radiator cap. Okay, you make sure you press it down all the way, and then you turn it like that. All right, make sure it's locked in, and then what you want to do is take this pump like so. Okay, now I usually have a snap-on pump, but I couldn't find the adapter that fit for this, and they wanted like over $80 for the adapter. But I bought that kit for $60, so it's cheaper just to change to a new pressure tester. So basically, you hook it on just like the air hose, right? And you pump it up. You want to pump it up. I pump it up to about 20 pounds. 25 is a max. But the Honda repair manual say from 14 to 18 psi. Okay, so you pump it up, and if there's a leak, you usually will see it, or sometimes you hear it. So basically, you check the radiator hose and all the hose, and of course on this side is a water pump down there. Okay, you check all the hose, all the petcock valve. So one, I don't know, you can see it. See it where my finger is at? Yeah, that's petcock valve right there. Okay, you check if it leaks, you can see it. I pump it up to about 20 psi, and I just left it there for about half an hour. Came back, it's still at 20. So I know that I don't have a leak. Okay, and then what I did is to take it out, because this whole system, when it's 18 psi or 20 psi, the whole system under pressure. What you do, you press on this button right here, press it to relieve the pressure, and then after all the pressure relief, you just pull this up just like the air hose. Okay, after that, once again, be careful when you deal with this. You just press it down and then you turn it all the way, okay, and you pull them straight out like so. Okay, so after I pressed the test, I didn't see any leaks. What I did next is I'm going to try to bleed the air out. Okay, to bleed the air out, all you have to do is put this radiator back on. Okay, put the radiator cap back on, press it down, and turn it halfway. Okay, now if you turn it all the way, then that's it. This thing is closed. But if you turn it halfway like that, okay, and you leave it like that, and you turn on the engine, let it run. When the engine warm up, okay, I start see radiator, the antifreeze start leaking out. Okay, so I put a rag on like that. So when I start see it leaking out, I just close it. Okay, now on a Honda repair manual, it tells you to leave it running into the fan here, turn on, turn off, turn on again, turn off again, which is turn on and off twice, and then you close it, and then you wipe up all the antifreeze. For me, I'm a cheap guy, right? When I see antifreeze start flowing out, good antifreeze start flowing out, it's irritate me to stand here and do nothing. Okay, so I just close it, and that's it. Okay, so I think bleed the air out. If you have to, open this cap here, put in antifreeze, bleed the air out is really helpful, because if you have air trap in here, then it might cause that sensor to not register right. Okay, and that's what caused the P0118. Okay, but anyway, clean the sensor connector, because I noticed it's really dirty. So clean that. That will help too. So these are the two that you can that you can do before you take the car to the shop, if you have those two cold. Okay. Now, if the sensor is bad and the thermostat not functioning right, then you have to replace them. But before you do, make sure you do what I did in this video: clean the sensor, bleed the air out, and hopefully that will turn off the lights and get you on the road. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye.